A lot of the internal processes, technologies, and architecture are heavily based on open source. We do have a lot of internal skills that are working on the various components of the technology and the organization. However, we are proactively reaching out to the open source community in order to tap into the much wider developer ecosystem.
Open source can be overlooked in a network perspective because people think about using vendors to go solve problems, which is kind of an obvious statement to make. But when that happens and those vendors provide proprietary solutions, it's very hard for that proprietary vendor with a proprietary solution to make that work with lots of other different vendors who are competing against them. So the role that open source plays, and by extension the role that we play as Lumina, is a kind of Switzerland in this, meaning that we're working with any and everybody in this environment.
If we have some closed solution, it will be difficult to innovate. So that's why we need to have some kind of open network, also to ease newcomers also to use our open platform and so on. So that's why we believe that we need this openness. So openness means, let's say, open API, but also open source code. Why? Because also we need to automate as much as possible, because we need to deploy a lot of new functions in our network in the future, and there is no way except automation.
If I have to pick something, which is I believe is the fundamental core of what open source is, I would say collaboration, open collaboration. And that's not just within the organization itself, it has to also be external collaboration, being able to work with the global players, finding common grounds, finding consensus, building a technology that scales horizontally rather than focusing on developing things internally and coming up with a vertical stack that will have to operate in isolation.